Right, without any further ado, I'll hand you over to our opener, Mr. Michael David. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Trevalga Fete is a very special event, and in spite of the present uncertainty over the future of the estate, I sincerely hope that it will continue for many years to come.
I think it's preserved in time. It is a time warp, basically, isn't it?
When I got the news, it was the most shocking thing in the world. You know, I just thought this was safe. It was a place that was actually safe.
There seems to be no conscience, no consideration, no humanity.
I have 2 nephews and a niece, and just always thought that they'd be able to grow up and have the same home that we've had, you know.
The then Lord of the Manor, Gerald Kirkendall, made this will in 1951 when he had absolutely no successors to leave it to his old school, Marlborough. And when he died in 1959, that will held, there was a trust. The idea was to keep the village exactly as it was. And any surplus profits, I think, went to Marlborough College. And that's held until the land was purchased by South West Water for the sewage treatment works. And that, looking hard at the will, uncovered that the chap who'd drawn it up in 1951 hadn't made a good job of it, and there were defects. And I gather that a barrister's opinion was that a whole large amount of that will was struck out. End result is that the trust disappears and it reverts to Marlborough College as to owning it lock, stock and barrel.
I know that everything has to change, but Gerald Guggenvin tried to save something, you know, he tried to preserve something.
He cared and he tried to protect this community, you know, after his death. And even from that point of view, so I'm going to get emotional now, you'd think Marlborough College would have some respect for that. You know, if somebody's trusted you to look after something that was precious to you, would you not feel some obligation to do that? In some way, in some small way. And they have received money off the estate for 51 years. You know, just heartless.
I see the way that Marlborough College is acting, how quickly that they're wanting to act, and I believe they're doing that because they know what they're doing is wrong, firstly, and I think and I hope we can find the legal hole, because there must be. You know, to move so fast, to want to list them so fast, and to nearly tell people to not get legal advice in a roundabout way. You know, you can seek legal advice, but we've looked into it. You know, trust us, basically.
I know of nowhere else in Cornwall where you've got thousands of acres, you've got almost a social housing policy that's been run by the Trust. I mean, one of the key things here is it's a place where there are some very nice old cottages which are occupied by people who aren't super rich, people who actually work within the community, do ordinary jobs and actually contribute to the life of the place. And I think that is something that the Trust under John Wakeham from Kivels was very keen to maintain. And it would be wonderful and probably a fantasy to believe that there will be a totally benign purchaser who comes along and says, I'd like to keep this the way it is. I don't want to develop it. I don't want to exploit it. I don't want to do up the cottages and sell them on. But that's got to be, I think, a fantasy.
If I give up, I have to accept it's going, and I can't. I just can't. So, yeah, I've got to stop, I'm afraid.